Greetings, family. This is Cassandra Faye Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I know it's short notice, but whatever. You understand? I'm going to do a read today. I'm going to get right to it because I have stuff to do. And yeah. So anyway, it's interesting. No, I'm not gonna segue. I'm gonna go ahead and get right to this reading. So last week we finished the reading of Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler, and the next day I got right into the reading of where did I leave off though? Man, shoot. We got right into the reading of a book by SuZar entitled, shoot, I don't know where I left off, entitled The Great Black Mama of Creation, again by SuZar. And the last time I read, I think I only read like 5 minutes. I was so tired. I couldn't even keep my eyelids propped up. You feel me? And so I don't remember where I left off. Okay. Oh, I see here where I left off. I think that's it. So I'm going to find the appropriate pen and I'm going to get started. Actually, I'm probably just going to go back to where I left off the last greetings balance. To where I left off the last time. Oh, I wanted to show y'all my dope ass pen really quick before we get started. You see that? Y'all see that over there? Y'all see it? I got it at a powwow last year. It's one of my prized possessions. I love it so. Anyway, so we're going to get going. I'm going to start at the next to the last paragraph on the bottom of page 10. For those that are following along, for those that are just coming in the room, I am reading a very, very short book entitled The Great Black Mama of Creation. You like my pen, Soulies? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to get started now that I have some energy for a change. The Greeks called her Isis, Aphrodite, Metis, Demeter, Nyx, Hera, Gaia. The Romans called her Isis, Venus, Medusa, Diana, Minerva. Greetings, Yellow Rose. The ancient Scandinavians worshipped her as Phrygia. The Druids worshipped her as Virgo Paratura, the mother of God. The Germans worshipped the Great Virgin Mother as Ostara. The Christians, Easter is named after her, Astar, Ishtar. Christian worship of her survives as the Catholic worship of the Madonna, or the Mother of Christ, who is called Our Lady, the Queen of Heaven, the Great Lady, the Star of the Sea, Mother of God, Immaculate Virgin, etc. All titles previously applying to the goddess Asht, Isis, the African original. She is the power of intelligence, having a multitude of names and emblems. She is the true creatrix, for she is thought itself, from which all else is born. She is the spirit that informs right balance, right harmony. And these in turn order all relationships in uniformity with her law. To assign to this great being the position of fertility goddess, as typically done in male-authored books discussing her, is exceedingly demeaning. It trivializes the power of woman. The top deity heading Kemet's pantheon was female. White male Egyptologists found in ancient Egypt a concept they could equate with their own notions of a supreme god, though they did so only by ignoring the matter of gender, since all evidence suggests that this primal being was female. The primal African names for this primal deity were Neter, the source of the word nature, Neter-Ua, the goddess Neith, who is the one God, the God one, the great God, Nu, the deified primeval water whence everything came, the celestial waters, and Hu, the primeval watery mass whence came everything. Nu is the source of the word, and that's in you. Nu is the source of the word new, for she is ever regenerating, and source of the word noon, for the 12 o'clock noon was the original time when the new day began. The anti-goddess Europeans reversed this when they came to power, starting the new day at midnight. We find the same Nu in Dalmanutha. Nu and the Great Mother are one and the same. Nu or Nut is also the noon, spelled N-U-N. The primal ocean, an ocean of infinite extent and fathomless depth, bearing the germs of all kinds of life. The name Noah is a variant of Nu. The original Noah was female. Noah's Ark was really Nu's womb, the womb of creation. In the book of Numbers 26:33, Noah is actually represented as female. One of Zelophehad's 5 daughters, Nu, was the hieroglyphic symbol of water that goddess Nut carried on her crown. The power of Nu was the self-created maker of the gods, the creator of men. Nu was the triple goddess expressed by the slandered number 13, the 3 in 1, the original Trinity. Of her 3 divine fluids of life, water, blood, and milk, Noon also gives us the word 9, 3 by 3, or the Trinity multiplied by itself. She existed before the sky, earth, mortals, or gods. From Nu, the sun was born. The sun went back into Mother Nu's great gate in the west when he died. Y'all know me, I'm forever taking notes. Note, the name Neter, neuter, is doubly feminine in that it contains 2 African words for water, Nu and Otter. Nu also means black. This implied black water can only be melanin, melanoon, melanoon. And since M and N are often synonymous, then Nile, the Nile River. The word Nile, like Mel, also means black. Further, Nu equals Mu, Nut, and Mut. The great black Mutter, or mother, was known as both goddess Nut and the goddess Mut. Neter then equals Mater, mother. Black as midnight, which is Nut, Mut, Nut. In defining Neter-Ua, Wallace Budge deceptively wrote, Neter-Ua, the God One, a title applied to any god and even any goddess, Neith, who is for some special purpose regarded as the great god. Underlines added. Notice he contradicts himself. Plus, in spite of his attempt to dethrone, subtract credit from the great mama, the original God One and great God, still could not hide the fact that the great one God was in fact a goddess, the great mama, as Neith. On the same page, he defines Neter-A 3 ways. If you read between the lines, again, the fact is revealed that Neter-A is really the great mama as the ancient triple goddess in her serpentine form, 3-headed winged serpent. The earliest male god known to any mythology is the son of the mother, the external child, boy, or lad. The sun was her son. The sun was her son, who was born from her darkness each morning and returned to her in death each night. Thus, Mama God was worshipped first, especially as planet Earth, most revered by all the ancient indigenous civilizations. The Great Mama, as Mother Earth, was the first great terrestrial deity. Earth was conceived of as the fertile mother of all things, the womb of life. She is still your great provider. Everything you got is from the Mama Earth, including your body. Think about it. Earth was considered an island or an altar, a mountain. In the great noon, Mama's ocean of space, outer space was called the cosmic ocean. The Chinese still call the altar a mound. Ta-ert-mut, or Ta-ert-mut, is one of the most ancient names of the Great Mama. Let's see. In this Kemite name, you can recognize the African source of the words earth and urt, U-R-T, and mother in M-U-T, mut. Also, Terra, Taru, an ancient name for the earth. The altar mound is a figure of the earth amidst the noon. Historian Gerald Massey wrote, quote, "The earth was thought of as a mount amid the firmamental water, and to image this, they, the primitive mound builders, Africans and indigenous peoples, would naturally raise a mound of earth. The heap of earth had acquired a sacred character, had become a kind of altar mound piled up with offerings of food. And such a figure we find in Ara, the southern altar or the altar mound. The earliest altar raised had been the mound of earth, and this was used to typify the mount of earth. Even to this day, hundreds of thousands of ancient prehistoric mounds of incredible variety and shape still survive all over the world, especially in North America. Many of these mounds are actually pyramids with flat tops. Calling these pyramids mounds is a ploy of obscuring the Black evidence. For these so-called mounds and other massive remains of the ancient Black Wichita Empire official website, blah, 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 is one of the best kept archaeological secrets in this country. Let's see. Hence, it is the Black woman, not man, who is made in the original image of the original God, who was and still is the great mama of the universe. Thus, God is female, the creatress of all life and all universes. Man, specifically the anti-life, anti-female man, otherwise known as the white man, has reversed this truth for himself and practically the whole planet. This is a major reason why things are so messed up on Earth today, and why Earth is being pushed towards extinction. The white colonized world is worshiping white people's anti-life ungod of death, who poses as the true God, deceiving all. The great Black mama of creation is the most blacked out through male wash. Many albino male scholars still try to pretend there never was a great goddess, or if there was, she was only a cult figure vaguely associated with sexual promiscuity or fertility. They violently deny the evidence and carefully avoid quoting ancient texts that say that the primordial being was a creatress, not a creator, though she was the central unifying concept of ancient civilizations. The Great Mama isn't mentioned in their ancient history texts so well as she is blacked out through whitewash, male wash. Massey wrote, quote, "There is a general casting out of the divine motherhood by the Hebrew writers. Throughout the patriarchal anti-female Bible of the albinos, we read, quote, 'And the Lord said,' or, quote, thus saith the Lord. But not once in all their whole rewritten Bibles do you hear input from the creatress. She is reduced to a mortal woman who is usually raped or servile to a man. The uncapitalized word goddess only occurs only 5 times in the entire Bible. But the nearly always capitalized word God occurs 4,470 times, 4,447 times in the same Bible. This shows what has been done to the great mama by the anti-female, hence anti-life essence in the minds of people. Any wonder that women are subjugated all over the world? The mother was cast out, the original Trinity, by the white man. The later monotheists sought to exclude the child and mother from the nature of the deity, which was a holy family in itself, consisting of the father, mother, and child. The mother was cast out for the God to be imaged by a figure of the father alone. But the goddess was continued in her types of the birthplace. Hers were the ark, the tabernacle, the sanctuary, the temple, the meskaheen, the holy of holies, as the abode of the divine child or reborn God. Despite the blackout, traces remain. God refers to herself as a mother to her people and is introduced as wisdom. Quote, for thus saith the Lord, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then shall ye suck, ye shall be borne upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knees. As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and ye shall be comforted in Jerusalem. That's Isaiah 66, 12 through 13. Quote, happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. She is the tree of life to them that layeth upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth. That is Proverbs 3, 13 through 19. As with her story and the true Black history, the story of the great Black goddess has been almost completely eradicated from history. But the suppressed truth is resurrecting. Mama God is naturally sexy, the source and definition of sensuality. Her lips are full and luscious, for lips represent sensuality. Her full lips give a clue to the rich fullness and sensuality they guard by being full themselves. The lips are the double doorway to the hole at both ends. The water is ever present in both holes. From the hole called vagina, visible life springs forth. From the hole called mouth, a higher vibratory life, invisible, speaks forth, called the word. Thus, the act of speaking, like sex, is a form of creating. Holes give us holy, whole, heal, health, wholesome. All forms of the same word, the same idea. The same idea. To heal is to make whole, like the hole, the circle, or the yoni. Thus, the hole, circle, spiral are primary symbols of Mama God. The O, Theo, the great O of the great Black goddess. The O forming the top of the Ankh, and since Kemite, left equals right, then whole equals whore or harlot. The whore was a hole. Other derivatives, her, harem, hieroglyphics, derived from her name as goddess Har, Har. The circle, the circle, the spiral is found as the most basic shape and motion throughout creation. Cells, planets, atoms, eyes, the circle, cycle of the seasons, the circle of the zodiac, or great whirling circle of the universe, or the universe. Sensuality is a word from the sense, to feel. You can't sense or feel anything if no melanin is present. For melanin enables all our senses, touching, seeing, hearing, etc., to work. The Great Mama is the amorous goddess of love, known in ancient Africa as Har or Hathor, and Tanit, which are all the same goddess and prototype for the Europeanized versions of Aphrodite, Venus, and Libera. The Tan in her name, Tanit, gives us tantric sex and hedonic pleasure in the original Garden of Eden, the Garden of Aten, for both A and Tan are among her 10,000 names. She is the Word, the Logos. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was the Great Mama of creation. Word, voice, logos, sound, vibration. She was called the Living Word as goddess Ta'ut, Lady of the Seven Stars. You can even see the word in Ta'ut, the Word. The as in Ta, and Word as in Urd, U-R-D, Ta'ut. The word is spoken and written. Hence, she is the original Metu Neter, the holy hero writing glyphics, named after two of her highest names, Metu, Ma'at, Medusa, and Neter, the source of nature. As Sefek, meaning seven, she was the mistress of writings, later the goddess of the papyrus reed. Shabda, or Shabda, the sound called Shab, Sab, Sebian, the seven. Goddess Sefek is the sweet Sebian origin of the seven notes of the musical scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do puts us at an octave up. And note the ak, or OCT, or 8 in her name. Sefek, Sab, Ak, 7, 8. She was the African model for subsequent versions of herself throughout the ancient world. The Great Mother, A, gave us the alphabets. Babylonians called her Aya, the beginning, the mother of all things. As Sarasvati in India, she was regarded the inventor of the original alphabet. Sumerians called her goddess Nidaba, the inventor of clay tablets and the art of writing. Celtic Ireland called her goddess Brigid, the patron deity of language. The word is one form of the Great Mama disguised in the albino man's Bible. Word, sound, vibration is the organizing principle of form. The word creates. This is proven by both the power of affirmation and the fact that all words and sounds have three-dimensional shape, which can be viewed in a device called the tonoscope. This science is called cymatics. Hence, words build, words build and have the power to create form. This recalls mantras and the word made flesh. Everything in the universe is vibrating, hence making a sound. Exquisite, complex symphonies emanate from atoms, molecules, and galaxies. All of nature sings. Feminine mouth, throat is the seat of speech. Mama God is the word, the original word, the logos. Since B equals V linguistically, then the book is the buck, vuk, voice, voik, voice, or the word proceeding from the original mouth. Her mouth at both ends. Mouth equals vagina. Vagina, voice, gina, vocals beginning in the throat. Goddess Vak of India was the voice that pronounced the first creative word, Om. She is described in the Rig Veda as the first, the queen, the greatest of all deities. Vak was a version of the goddess Kali, identical with goddess Kar, for left equals right, of Africa's Nile Valley. Om, the same Om of Omega, the great Om, the Alpha and the Omega, is the great Mama, creator of languages, alphabets, music, and mantras, or words of power. Her power, source of all power. The book of Revelation states, quote, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, and which was, and which is yet to come, the Almighty, according to Revelation 1:8. This is directly plagiarized from the African temple of the Great Mama at Sais, where they were written on stone many centuries before the albino man's Bible was compiled. There is even a biblical clue to its feminine source. The beginning, which the prophet saw, was, quote, girt about the paps with a golden girdle, Revelation 1:13. Men don't wear girdles, and they don't have paps, a term which refers only to the nurturing female nipples. Kemite, ker, means the word or logos. This is why Passion Week is called Kar or Care Week. Reverse ker and get rek. Since Kemet, R equals L, then rek equals lek, the African root of the words lecture and dialect is logos. Oh, so let me just show you. So, because I got a bunch of pictures in here. So this is when she was talking about the hole, the circle, the yoni, the lips at the top and the lips at the bottom. So that's that. And then also when she's talking about the original logos as the goddess Nut, which she has pictured there. And then at the bottom, which is very cool, is the picture of the Om Yantra, the Sri Yantra in Hindu tradition. And on the other side of it is the word Om uttered into an electric transmitter, and the sound waves create the pattern, the same pattern. So this is an electric image of the pattern created by saying the Om, and this is the symbol of the Om Yantra. So this is the electronic picture of the vibration of speaking the word Om, and this is actually the Om Yantra. Okay. Let's see. Mama, the roarer. The goddess of the great bear or hippopotamus was adored at Ombus as the living word. She is configured in the planisphere with huge jaws wide open in the act of uttering the word or of roaring. Thus we find the goddess Apt, the roarer, as a hippopotamus, the great bear, roaring or whirling round with the bull roarer as her sign and symbol at the center of the northern heavens. This is her. Quote, in the beginning of the Egyptian theology, then, the word was not the god, but the goddess. The fecundity, the power, the glory, and the wisdom of the primordial bringer forth were divinized in the Great Mother, who was worshipped at Ombos as the living word. In one of her many forms, she is the lioness-headed Sekhmet Bast, who was the object of adoration in Inner Africa as the only one. Following Following the mythical mother, the son became her word or logos, and in Sebek Horus, the word was God. This was in the mythology that preceded the eschatology, end quote. Mama God is the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, symbolized by the dove. Y'all ready? The Europeanized anti-female Christianity, in an attempt to obscure the reality of Mama God in the original biblical scriptures, speaks of the divine Trinity as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Where is the mother in this picture? Essentially, they killed the mama and kept her ghost. Mama God is the Holy Ghost. One surviving clue is that the Bible calls the Holy Ghost the Comforter, according to John 14:16. That's the great mama. Mothers are renowned for comforting their children. Elsewhere we read, quote, as one whom his mother comforteth, so shall I comfort you. Isaiah 66:13. The Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost is the great mama. The Hebrew word for spirit is of the feminine gender, and the Jewish Shekinah in the Kabbalah is feminine. The great mama in her form as a dove bird symbolized her omnipresent spirit, which animated the entire universe. For in ancient times, people believed that since she gave birth to and nurtured all life, then everything that existed was essentially an emanation from her. A flower, a blade of grass, a mountain, a tiger, star, human being, everything lived by virtue of her Holy Spirit within them. The source of Christian images of the dove as the Holy Ghost directly stems from African cosmology. Christian iconography shows 7 rays emanating from the dove of the Holy Ghost. This image is derived from most ancient manifestations of the great goddess. Nikki says, look at the churches. It seems like Black women are the only ones who ever catch the Holy Ghost. Let's see. The word dove is derived from Kamite tef, meaning dove. Tef was also a name of the great mama. And the dove was one of her animal symbols in her form as the goddess of love, Hathor, also known as Aphrodite. In Kemet, Nanat was another name of both the great mama and the dove. The dove was the bird of breath or soul, which later became the ghost. Anciently, the bird of sexual passion, doves love sex, reflecting the mother's sensual nature. The dove is symbolically equivalent to the yoni, joined to her consult. Let's see, I don't know if there's a period there. To the yoni, joined to her consort, the phallic serpent. The dove goddess stood for sexual union and life. The great mama is the great water, the noon. The great mama is the primordial waters that was in the beginning. Genesis 1:2. She is the noon. Isn't it interesting that they spell noon N-U-N and we know that as the nuns? I don't know. She is the noon, the title of the same, giving us the word inundation. The primordial waters was called the noon or the celestial sea by the ancient Africans. Europeans called it space. Her womb is the great black, the abyss of beginning that gave birth to water, born again. Back to the womb, the great mama's womb. That's why one is baptized, that is, dipped in or inundated in water, imitating the water bag of the womb. So let me just, I haven't read this to y'all yet, but let me just show you the notes that I took for this page. Y'all see the mouth and gape on the side of this page I'm about to read, y'all? Y'all see how I take notes? So anyway, To what? So listen, y'all, listen. Okay, to what? The birthplace of water is, and so is that the reason? Remember, we were talking about in the book, the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, how so many of the words that are used these days to shame women, to quote their supposedly ugly names used to shame women, have an actually holy or reverent beginning. So here we're talking about Tuat as the birthplace of water, and maybe not so much in the Black community, but the word twat, right, was always used as an antagonism towards women, as a so-called derogatory word to describe women. Here, its Kemetic origin actually means the birthplace of water. Okay, so in the beginning was the Mother Earth as the womb of universal life, vegetable, animal, reptile, fish, bird, and human life. The uterine figure was repeated in the making of Amenta as the twat for the birthplace of water. This type was imaged as the abyss of the beginning, that sacred place of creation. That is the beginning in and with the primordial mundane abyss from which life emanated and from which the elemental powers of 7 Uranus deities were born of Mother Earth. The Great Mama controlled the celestial waters, which included the sky itself as well as the rain and dew. As mistress of these upper waters, she was drawn as a water jar. Listen, y'all. Listen. She was drawn as a water jar. In Egyptian hieroglyphics, that sacred water jar was the symbol of the goddess Nut and of femininity, the female genitalia, woman, and the female principle. What? Did y'all hear what I just said? Yo, y'all didn't hear. Listen. As the this is in Kemet now, as the mistress of these upper waters, the waters of heaven, as the mistress of these upper waters, she is drawn as a water jug on the walls in ancient Egypt. In Egyptian hieroglyphics, that sacred water jar was the symbol of the goddess Nut and of femininity and of female genitalia and the woman and the feminine principle. Y'all, thank you. Of course, Solis, absolutely 10,000% yes. It is what we now call Aquarius, the water bearer. Okay, yes. Listen. Y'all, listen. Other names for this water: Hoo-hoo, the primeval watery mass from which came everything. Nu, Noon, the primordial water, the cosmic ocean, the celestial black sea, holding all the stars, planets, and galaxies. Space. Sa, the lake of the mama's holy blood. Sabda, mother the water is nearly the same as mother the word. Sabda, the word logos. For the word is a form of the water. Music is liquid sound which flows like water. Y'all ain't hearing. Oh, woo, shit. Y'all are not hearing. Oh my God. Yo. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this gonna have to be a whole nother word, child. She is the best. Did anybody see that movie? What was the name of that damn movie? What was his name was in? This reminds me of the word saline, like Celine, which means heaven. Did y'all queer? Yeah. Yes. All everything y'all saying. Yes. What's the name of this movie? Fuck. I can't remember. I won't digress. I can't remember, but it was shit. Was it Tom Hanks that was in it, where he was like a symbol decoder or whatever? What is the name of this freaking movie, man? Anyway, damn. I'm gonna have to remember that. Okay. She is the vessel, the cup, the grail, the bowl. No, no one, the damn Rain Man, the Da Vinci Code. Thank you. Let's see. 5-star chick said the Rain Man. Hell no. Oh, no, the Da Vinci Code. Thank you. She is the vessel, the cup, the grail, the bowl, the bell. She is the ark, the boat, the ship. All of these are containers relating to water, either holding a little water or riding on a lot of water. They are all ancient symbols of the womb, which holds the germ, the gem, the blueprint for life. Mother God, cosmic spiral serpent of life. The serpent is another prime symbol or figure of creation's great black spiral mama. African symbolism had two types of serpents. One as a type of, quote, evil, serpent of death, darkness, or drought. And the other was the good serpent, the Uraeus, serpent of life, protection, and salvation. Serpent is, quote, a symbol of eternity and regeneration when shown casting off its skin. It is a symbol of the sun or sexual conjunction of male-female polarities when shown with its tail in its mouth forming a circle. It is a symbol of wisdom and energy. It is a symbol of the destroyer and regeneration, and it is a symbol of evil when represented with its deadly sting. Important serpent names or words intimately linked with Mama Serpent Goddess's spiral of life include Uraeus, swastika, labyrinth, Kundalini, Nagas, devilizing the serpent, Medusa, wisdom, 13, 6, Leviathan, love, life, left, and Ophiuchus, which is the 13th astrological sign, and, quote, reptilian aliens. In the full version of this work, we'll examine all of these in detail. For now, let's look at an overview of several. Uraeus. In Kemet hieroglyphics, the cobra serpent means goddess. This goddess is the great black mama. Listen, what was it? Where did I read that? I think it was in one of the reads. I just read it because somebody drew it to my attention. It was one of the reads that I just did. Well, I did a long time ago from the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets. I'll have to put it in this link or something. But anyway, here we go. This goddess is the great black mama goddess Neith, who appears as a gold. I remember. Let me find it. Hold on. I remember. What was it? Was it sacred prostitution? I'm gonna find it before this read is over. Anyway, was the goddess Neith, who appears as a golden cobra. Cobra Mama was also called Urazit, Aset, Ast, or Isis. Later Hathor, Ma'at Usa, Medusa. She is found throughout the world's ancient cultures. She is found throughout the world's ancient cultures. The cobra was also known as the eye, Uzait, a symbol of mystic insight and wisdom, akin to or one with Ma'at, the all-seeing eye and the goddess of truth, lawgiver and the dispenser of justice. Oh my gosh. Y'all. The pale imitation in Western courts is blindfolded, hence consistently proves itself incapable of justice. Yo! Did y'all hear that? Listen. The cobra was also known as the eye, Uzait, a symbol of mystic insight and wisdom, akin to or one with Ma'at, the all-seeing eye and goddess of truth, lawgiver and dispenser of justice. The pale imitation in Western courts is blindfolded, hence consistently proves itself incapable of justice. Patriarchy confiscated Ma'at's all-seeing eye for its male gods, and a tainted version is found above the frustrum pyramid on the back of the US dollar as a rearing cobra on the forehead of rulers and crowns. Uraeus signified the first eye, misnamed. Child, god damn it. Oh my God. Uraeus signified the first eye, misnamed the third eye of mystical insight. God damn it, y'all. Oh my God. Yo. Listen. Yo. Oh my God. You understand? Shit. I'm still taking notes in this book. All right. The Serpent of the Nile was the title of all Kemite queens who represented Kemet or Kemet, and the goddess embracing the king. Quote, the two truths assigned to her from the first are written with two serpents. These are the mother's hieroglyphics in her two characters of the Virgin and Gestator. End quote. The serpent mama was one of Africa's oldest deities. Her Uraeus serpent icon signified healing, as it still does today as the international symbol of medicine, the caduceus. Serpent mama, the swastika equals the labyrinth. The serpentine cosmic spiral is inherent in the swastika and labyrinth. The swastika was a universal symbol of the great mama, hence symbol of life. Like she has been devilized, so has the image of the swastika has been poisoned. Among other related things, the swastika represents the great mama as the whirling wheel of life. And then she shows that at the bottom in its different personifications. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the swastika represents the great mama as the whirling wheel of life, eternally circling, spiraling through birth, life, death, and rebirth. We're made into a physical path or building, the spiral or swastika becomes the labyrinth, a journey inward. Labyrinths originally surrounded. Yes. The labyrinths originally surrounded Kemet's pyramids, for the pyramid signifies the divine center point eye of creation, mama's womb, similar to the dark nucleus of the cell, which mirrors the cosmos. And the top view of the pyramid resembles a labyrinth. Originally, the labyrinth signified entering mama's cosmic womb for birth and rebirth. Whoa. They also signified a journey into and out of mama's earth womb, hence were often found and depicted at the entrance of caves, womb symbols. In ancient Black Egypt, the labyrinth was synonymous with Amenti, the sinuous path taken by the dead on their journey from death to resurrection. The labyrinth is also an ancient walking meditation tool. To walk the labyrinth is to journey to the center of your being. Once you reach the center, you are known to be in union with the Creator. There is a big difference between a maze and a labyrinth. A labyrinth has only one path. The path by which you enter is the same path by which you exit. You can never get lost in a labyrinth. A maze has many paths and dead ends. You can get totally lost and confused in a maze. Swastika, labyrinth, and serpent are three forms of the same thing. All three point to time, which is a circle or a cycle, really a spiral. Whirling great mama is the mother goddess of time, rotator of the cosmos, which is even called the universe. Verse, as in vertebrae, and whirl, meaning to turn, revolve. As Mama Neith, goddess of time, she was past, present, and future. All that has been, that is, that will be. So famous was this description of her that the Christians copied it and attributed it to their pale Lord in Revelation 1:8. Her arch symbol as the swastika is a geometric icon for the labyrinth as a whole, both being a type of spiraling serpent. In fact, the swastika can be viewed as two symbolic serpents crossing over one another, the serpent being universally associated with the great goddess in ancient religion. That serpentine river of four heads in Genesis 2:10 through 14 likely signify the whirling serpentine swastika of four arms. Two of its arms even compasseth the whole land of Havilah or Ethiopia. Genesis 2:11 and 13. Found in all the cultures of the ancient world, the swastika personifies and represents time, as the two major spectacular celestial rotations of the Polaic and Zodiac. The Polaic, or rotation of the North Pole constellations, and the Zodiac, or the rotation of the constellations at the ecliptic Earth's projected equator. Polar-wise, the swastika represents the four positions of the Big Dipper rotating around the North Star. Damn. This rotation forms the pattern of a swastika when charted 4 times a year, that is every 13 weeks. Every 13 weeks. Solar-wise, what the swastika represents the zodiac's 4 quarters, which are marked by the 2 equinoxes and the 2 solstices. Damn. Kundalini is sex energy, the pure energy of life. Serpent mama is the Kundalini, meaning coiling like a serpent. You got one. The Kundalini is described as a great reservoir of creative energy at the base of the spine, and the inner female soul of man in serpent shape, coiled in the pelvis, induced through proper practice of yoga to uncoil and mount through the spiral chakras toward the head, bringing infinite wisdom. End quote. You. Patriarchy devilized serpent mama and the image of the serpent. Before anti-female patriarchy spread over the planet, the supreme deity was globally honored as female and often called the Great Mother Serpent of Heaven. Patriarchy maliciously slandered, vilified, and devilized her. 3 prime examples of this are Eve, Lilith, and the Gorgons, all associated with serpents. We're just going to post that comment right there. Let's see. Eve, Christianity's Bible blames sin and the so-called fall of man upon Eve, a name of the Great Mother, and further insults her by calling wrongdoing evil, Eve, El, and sin or sinister, means left. The left side, which was anciently regarded as the feminine side, therefore was devilized, the left-hand path, the leftist, etc. Sin, as in Mount Sinai, where Moses received the 10 Commandments, also means moon, another prime mother symbol. Lilith. Before Eve was Lilith, Adam's first wife, according to rabbinical tradition. She used to be in the Canonical Bible before being edited out. She still is in the Bible if you carefully read the creation story. It speaks of 2 creations of woman. The first woman was created equal to man. Male and female created he them in Genesis 1:27. This female was Lilith. The second woman was Eve, clone of Adam, unnaturally made from one of his ribs. This is cited in verse 22 of Genesis chapter 2, yielding a triple 2, 222, which underscores Eve as being second. Patriarchy labeled Lilith as the mother of demons and reviled her as destroyer and seducer of men. For Lilith demanded equality and to co-rule, and would not submit to Adam's attempt to sexually dominate her. Hence, she became the archetype of the dangerous woman who refused submission. She was vilified as whore, hag, witch, blood sucker, succubus, child killer, impure, enchantress, and the subtle serpent who tempted Adam and Eve. If she was so bad, then why is her name Lilith, meaning lily, from Lilu, lotus? Lilith represented the virgin, belonging to no, which means belonging to no man. Virgin, which means belonging to no man. She is the virgin aspect of the triple goddess. The lotus, the lily, was a floral emblem of Mama's virgin aspect and miraculous impregnation. Lilith was addressed as Lilake on a tablet from circa 2000 BC. Her epitaph was that of beautiful maiden. The Canaanites called her Balat, the divine lady. Historian Gerald Massey enlightens us further. Adam is Kemet, Atum, form of the sun god Ra. His 2 wives are modeled from Atum's 2 consorts. Another from this divine trio is Osiris or Asar, and his consorts Isis and Nephthys, the 2 mothers, the 2 sisters, and the 2 wives of Osiris. Isis, the virgin who conceived, and Nephthys, the matrona who brought forth the child. Massey wrote, quote, "The story of Lilith, Adam's first wife, has been omitted from the book of Genesis. The rabbinical tradition relates that the woman was created out of the ground together with the man and was named Lilith. She obviously represented the first great mother, one of whose Egyptian names was Re'it or Lilith. In the Hebrew legend, it is the woman Eve who offers the fruit of the tree of knowledge. In other versions, especially the Greek, the fruit is offered to the man by a serpent in a tree. Now the serpent was another type of the great mother, Kep, end quote. There would have been two ancestresses to the human race in the Hebrew Genesis if the legend had been properly reported. In the extra-biblical tradition, Adam had two wives, Lilith and Shavat, but Lilith, the more mystical female of the two, had been damned by orthodoxy as the demoniacal destroyer of children, she who did not bring forth. Oh, fuck. Yo. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me take a note, child. Let me take a note. Damn. Now let me just tell y'all about how spirit be intervening. So all day today, I have been watching videos and reading articles about this 4B movement in North Korea. Okay, because I intend in the next couple of days or so to do my take on this thing happening in North Korea with this damn 4B movement, right? And so I'm not going to go into it, but this little one thing that we read about the demonization of Lilith and calling her what? The demoniacal destroyer of children, because what? It wasn't that because they created all these myths about how she was eating babies and bullshit, but it wasn't because she was killing babies. It was because she refused to bring them forth. Yo. Oh my God. That just happened today, y'all. I'm just telling you. That just happened on this day. She was called the demoniacal destroyer of children because she refused to bring them forth, y'all. God damn. Whoa. Yo. Why did she refuse to bring them forth? Why did she refuse to bring them forth? It say right here, because she refused to be second to Adam when they were created equal. And she refused, what did it say? It says she refused to submit. What? She refused submission. She refused submission to his demands for dominion, sexual dominion over her. So she said, okay, I just want to have no motherfucking babies. Let's do it like that. Yo, that just happened. That just happened. I'm telling you, look at my notes. I just wrote this shit in the car, driving with one hand. My notes about my presentation that I'm going to do in the next day or so about the 4B movement. And we read this shit right here on today. Y'all. Yo. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the Gorgons, quote, 3 monstrous females with huge teeth, brazen claws, and snakes for hair, the sight of whom turned beholders to stone. Medusa, the most famous, was slain by Perseus, end quote. Patriarchy rescripted the beautiful, loving triple goddess as a beastly, unsightly triple Gorgons. Like other versions of this archaic goddess, the Gorgons were a trinity in classical mythology. Their names were Medusa, Stheno, and Uriel, meaning wisdom, strength, and universality. Hellenic writers, albinos, pretended they were monsters, but these were not the names of monsters. They were titles of the triadic moon mother. Only the albinos regarded the serpent as evil, holding great contempt and fear for it. Only their literature, goddamn. Only their literature and rewritten holy books demean, debase, and devilize the serpent dragon. Albino culture demeans the serpent for the same reason which all other world cultures, indigenous peoples, honored and esteemed the serpent, because of its connection with creation's great black mother. Albinos are afraid of melanin, the great black. Their dictionaries define black with evil, another slanderous word on the great mother, as Eve, goddess Evil. Mama is essentially blacked out in all versions of their Bible or reduced to a human status as Eve, Sarah, and the other wives of the patriarchs, Virgin Mary, Whore Magdalene, and so on. Most of her symbols or icons are also demeaned in the same Bible or bestowed upon their male god. Yet it is from her that their Bible both originated and draws its power and substance. Come on up in the room, y'all. Oh my God. The three wise men were wise women. Medusa, wisdom. Serpent goddess Medusa is one with Ma'at, goddess of truth and judgment. Medusa's snaky hair were nappy dreadlocks. Her name, Medusa, is Ma'at, Isis. Medusa was the serpent goddess of the Libyan African Amazons, representing female wisdom. Kemite Ma'at. She was the destroyer aspect of Kemet's triple goddess, Neith, called Athena, Ina, or Athena in North Africa and Greece. Albinos remade Medusa as Greek Athena, equal Roman Minerva, goddess of wisdom, arts, and science. Wisdom being symbolized by the serpent. Oxymoronically, Medusa's decapitated head was fixed to Minerva's shield, and like Eve, was unnaturally cloned from a male. A warrior Athena was born fully grown and fully armored from the head of a male Zeus. So we have a double whammy on the mammy here, and a whammy on white women too. The black goddess is usurped by the pale creation, which confiscates and bestows her power and glory upon the white woman, then confiscates it again and degrades the same by bestowing birth credit to a white male god. Never mind that this god, Zeus, was also originally African. All the gods of Europe were African before their baptism in snow. The serpent is the prime symbol for wisdom. Her son, S-U-N, Christ, said, "Be as wise as serpents," according to Matthew 10:16. And even compared himself to idol serpent Nehustan, made by Moses, John 3:14, 2 King 18:4, and Exodus 21:8, who turned his rod, his penis, into a serpent, Exodus 4:4, 7, 9, in a contest of magic or wisdom serpent. Okie dokie. Therefore, the three wise men were really three wise women, or the triple goddess, for three good reasons. Wisdom is traditionally a female quality. Even the very patriarchal anti-female Bible refers to wisdom, capitalized at that, as her and she in Proverbs 1:20, 21, 21, and 9:1, and Luke 7:35. The number 3, like 7, is inseparably linked and identified with the wise great mama, who is demeaned by the slandering of the number 13, which signifies her 3-in-1 nature. The three wise women are the great mama as the triple goddess, the original trinity. These so-called three wise men are, in actuality, the three stars renamed Orion's belt. In African Dogon cosmology, these stars were part of the mama's feminine celestial chariot. And 666, Solomon's great wisdom, was the mama's. King Solomon's great wisdom was not his, any more than Greek philosophy is Greek. The serpent and the number 7 are two ancient icons for wisdom. The wisdom for which Solomon was famous was the great wisdom of the great serpent mother, who disguisedly appears, who disguisedly appears in the story as the Queen of Sheba. Sheba means 7. She gives him golden serpents as 666 talents of gold in 1 King 10 and 14, 2 Chronicle 9 and 13. 6 is a coiling serpent. Really, she was giving him her wisdom. King Solomon and the other top biblical characters are super 666s. Their multiple 666s are exposed in SuZar's 666 expose series. Following is one of Solomon's 666s. The only vowel in his name is 15th alphabet O, which vibrates at 6. Hence, the name Sal, Lo, Man is a major 666. 6 is a number and word connected with sex. 6 and sex are from the same root. The Book of Solomon is so sexy erotic it embarrasses churchmen, to say nothing of Solomon's 700 wives, 300 concubines, according to 1 King 11:3. Numeral 6 itself is a serpent. 6 is a sexagram. Hexagram, star, another mega 666 of 6-point sides triangles, symbol of sex, holiest act of creation, demeaned only in European culture as original sin and something shameful. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing explains why in the ISIS papers. Crazy. I was just talking about that today. Hex and hexagram also mean magic, from Chemite Heka, magic, god of magic. And magic brings us back to wisdom, for magic is a type of wisdom, knowing. Now here is where I finally figured out why sex is called knowing in the Bible. Sex equals 6 equals hex equals Heka equals magic equals wisdom, which is to know, right? Further, since S equals C, wisdom equals Wicca, witches. Video means to see. Pun code is hidden language of the Bible exposed in SuZar 666 expose series. Them 3 wise men, a 333, then double as 3 wise women, another 333, therefore is another pun for 666. Proof be hidden in the numbers. Okay. All right. Let's see. Wonder why people keep referring to that Shiva statue outside of CERN lab as a man. That's clearly a feminine deity. Let's see here. Okay. 13 true months in a year. How long have I been going? Okay. 13 true months in a year. Mama is 13, the original trinity, or the 3 in 1. 13 is the most feminine of numbers. Every woman has 13 menstruation periods in a year. For really, there are 13 months or months, full moons in a year, not the patriarchal 12. Because of its inseparable link with Great Mama and femininity, 13 has been massively slandered and devilized like Mama. Yet the slanderers use 13 to the hilt, for it is the capstone number of maximum power, multiple times on the United States Great Seal. Triangle is the oldest geometrical symbol of power. It is the shape, it is the shape of faces of the capstone. Triangular designs have been found in or outside caves that have been occupied by humans for more than 30,000 years. In ancient cultures around the planet, the triangle was known as the symbol of divine creative power associated with the triangular shape of the female pubic region, both the vagina and the interior of the womb, the uterus. The triangle and pyramid represented Let's see. The triangle / pyramid represented the universal womb of the great black goddess as the matrix of generation and source of all life. The triangle is even called delta, or delta meaning door or womb. In India, the triangle of Shakti is called the Kamakala, defined as the manifestation of creative desire. The great serpent, Mama's many names. The information written about her make it sound like all these are names of separate goddesses. They are not, just many names for one great goddess. Serpentine Mama's African names included Uazit, Uejit. I might be like completely killing these. Uachet, Aptawi, Buto, Neat, Kemhet, Kebeshet, Nehebeka, Menhanit, Dan, Ten. The Chinese called her Nu Kwa, who is still highly respected by Taoist culture, as Coatlicue. She is the double serpent-headed mother goddess of all the Aztec deities. She is massive Ananta, serpent of eternity, upon which the Hindu Vishnu sleeps. As the serpent rain goddess, Tual, I can't even. Tuquakti. She brought water to the people of southwestern America. The Tibetans honored her as goddess Lu. That last African name, Ten, is the African source of the names Don, Danielle, Dinah, Diana, Ethan, Eden, all in the Bible, and all connected with the serpent. Arc icon for wisdom, nearly synonymous with magic. That's Comet Heka, source of Hex, slandered as Hag and 666. Heka, meaning magic, was also the name of the god of magic, depicted in human form, sometimes with a serpent head. He holds a snake-shaped wand in each hand. Bible says Don, quote, Don shall be a serpent, Genesis 49:17. Daniel was famous for his wisdom, Ezekiel 14:14, 20, and 28:23. Prophet Daniel was an astrologer and a master of magicians, called by the name of a god, Belteshazzar, Daniel 1:7, 4, 8, and 9. The Bible even acknowledges Great Mama Diana as the great goddess with the lowercase g, whom all Asia and the world worshipeth, in Acts 19, 27, and 35. Great is Diana, according to Acts 19, 28, and 34. Ethan was also famous for his wisdom, that Solomon's wisdom could be described as exceeding Ethan's in 1 Kings 4, 30, and 31. Eden is where we find the first serpent, who is noted as being more subtle than any beast, in Genesis 3 and 1. Subtle means wise. Dinah was Jacob's only daughter, according to Genesis 30 and 21. Then, really, there were 13 tribes of Israel, not 12. And the Dianites are even mentioned in the King James Version Bible in Ezra 4 and 9. 4 plus 9 equals 13. Just once, but translated and then edited out as judges in the other version of the Bible. This is the only biblical acknowledgement of the tribe of Dinah, hence the 13th tribe of Jacob. A detailed etymology of Dinah and Dan I don't know. African migrants founded the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete. Let's see. Am I going to start? I think I might stop reading there. It's already, well, okay, I'll read a little bit more. All right. It was one of the latest surviving matriarchal goddess-centered cultures and was not surpassed technologically for over a millennia. 2,000 years before the Roman civilization, the Minoans had indoor plumbing, complex accounting, and widespread trading practices. They are famous for their sprawling palace at Knossos. Surviving Minoan artifacts and symbols include an abundance of serpent goddess sculptures, double axes in many sizes, and the swastika. The word labyrinth is from the Minoans. There were no male gods in Crete, only Great Mama, particularly as the serpent goddess, with serpents spiraling around her extended arms and sometimes around her waist, decoding the obscured true identity of the Minoan snake goddess. The rote education of patriarchal society trains and locks us in a mindset that is essentially blind to truth. As we learn to see with our true eyes, not the conditioned program eyes of our deducation, then formally obscured truth and meanings open up like spring flowers all around us. This has been my experience. In SuZar's 666 Expose Series Encyclopedia, I expose, among other things, the pun code composing the entire Bible and other chief pillars of what is called Western society. Letters, shapes, icons, events, names, and objects. Everything is punned in order to obscure the truth without destroying it, though the same truth is typically reversed. The truth is secretly perversed because it is necessary to do so. Otherwise, the spell built into the reversed babbles would not work. Yes, we have been put into a great spell. They don't call it gospel for nothing. The controllers at the capstone are using high African ritual magic technology against all of us, including and especially its top servant pawns, the albinos. Stolen magic from the Great Mama, whose name is even in magic. They got us thinking it's just hocus pocus. Yet behind our backs, anti-life, perverted ritual magic is a major part of the controllers' means of staying in their missionary position over the world. Their societies are not called secret for nothing. M equals W, M also equals N, hence Nut equals Mut, mother. Nut and Mut are key Kemite names for the great goddess. The supreme Kemite name for deities of all deities is Neter, or Meter, mother. Further, sweet Ma'at, Na'at, Neith, or Neith. The word labyrinth, directly from Crete, they say, turns out to be something other than its standard definition in albino authored books, which say it means the way of the labors or the double axe. With all of them labors found in Minoan ruins, this definition seems reasonable. Good deception always sounds reasonable. As I will elaborate in the full volume of this book, the word labyrinth is really two names of the Great Mama as Libera and Neith, labyrinth, pointing to the two polarities of creation and destruction. Goddess Libera, with her scales, Mama's creator aspect. The scales are called the Libra, after Mama as Libra, goddess of love. Goddess Neith, with her weapons, the axe and the arrows, equals Mama's destroyer aspect. The double axe is called the labors, also from the name Libera. Note that the basic shape and outline of both the Libra scales and the labor's axe are the same. Even the names are similar. Libera and Neith were two forms of Mama Great imported from Africa, where Libya and Liberia are named after her. Albinos in Greece called her Athena, essentially Neith spelled backwards. And then here she shows you a picture. Oh, here at the bottom, she shows you the scales of the Libra, right? And she shows you the labors, or the double-edged axe. See here, she shows you the scales of Libra and the double-edged axe called the labors. And then on the next page, she shows the Minoan serpent goddess, which most of us are pretty familiar with. This is a pretty standard picture of the goddess image. Right? Okay. Both goddesses are two forms of Ma'at, the preserver as goddess of truth, unifying both polarities. Now we have the so-called Hindu trinity, the Hindu trinity of creator, preserver, and destroyer. 'Twas mamas before male gods stole the credit, and is exemplified in the heavens, original Babel or Babel, as the three cycles of the moon, the waxing, the full, and the waning. The Minoan civilization was the Minoan civilization of the triple moon goddess, inseparable from water, mater, mother, which the moon majorly affects as the tides. Water as libation was supremely important in Crete. Libation is still practiced throughout unspoiled Africa. All three goddesses, Libera, Neith, and Ma'at, are Medusa, Ma'at Usa, devilized by albinos. Many images of devilized, gorgonized Medusa show her body in the form of a labyrinth. The Minoan serpent snake goddess of ancient Crete, in fact, is Medusa, the great black serpent mama of spiraling creation. No wonder mother's hair is nappy, serpentine, love locks. Nappy because it embodies the spiral principle of life, the serpentine dance of creation, the serpentine primal motion to which the entire cosmos dances, the spiral, spiritual, she capitalizes S-P-I-R, spiritual spiral, S-P-I-R, found in all things, from spinning atoms to rotating planets to spiraling galaxies, the Holy Spirit, S-P-I-R capitalized, spiritual hair. No wonder nappy hair was anciently called the hair of the gods. Spiraled hair, black African people are the great mama's original children and the parents of humanity. If children look like their parents, then the black woman comes closest to personifying the true image of the great mama of creation. Hence, Mama God is a beautiful, spiral-haired black woman. The spiral anciently symbolized the life force of the great mother. Medusa's serpentine locks are the nappy dreadlocks, love locks of the great mother. Medusa, Ma'at, Asa, Isis, goddess of love herself. Her locks were dreadful only to albinos, despising, demeaning, and fearing these divine traits that make African people African. They just be jealous. In reality, they wish they could have some of that natural nappiness. That's why they curl their hair, their lip hair, blah, blah, and melanin. That's why they tan themselves, risking skin cancer and full lips. That's why they get silicone lip injections. If albinos choose spiritual healing, they will eventually have all these things and more, though they'd have to be born again through the melanated womb to get them. But they will love them and rejoice in coming back home. Oh, mama, the black O, or the black hole. Mama God is the circle, circle 7, the dot, the whirler. The great mama is the great circle. Circle is holy, the whole and the whole, the H-O-L-E and the W-H-O-L-E, the whole and the whole, because it represents the womb of the goddess and the great round of life, cycling through birth, life, death, and rebirth, ever changing, never changing, the eternal. T-E-R, ter, in eternal means circle, as found in T-U-R-N, turn, T-E-R-M, term, T-U-R-B-A-N, turban, and T-I-R, entire. For the circle has no beginning or end. Before European input, life was conceived of as a great circle of being in which all existed as an emanation of the Great Mother, her spirit made flesh or earth or water or air. And since whatever was her child, all forms were equally valuable. There was no hierarchy in which humans ranked as superior to lower orders and were given dominion over them. Circle also means time or vice versa. Or vice versa. For time is a circle. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, I'm going to stop. Sorry, my bad. I'm going to stop right there. So we read a lot. We only got like 20 something pages left. This is a short book. Yeah, we only got 20 something pages left. So I will come back and read tomorrow. Probably finish it tomorrow because we started on page 10. We're on page 36 now. So I'm going to stop here, where we will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, we'll continue tomorrow. On page 36. For those of you who tuned in late, the book that we are reading from, or have been reading from, is The Great Black Mama of Creation by SuZar. The Great Black Mama of Creation by SuZar. So we will finish that on tomorrow. And that's that. Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to find, because I don't recall right off top what video it was that kept coming out at me that we needed to revisit in the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets. The Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets. But I just listened to an old live that I did from this book not 3 days ago that was talking about the exact same thing. Was it the menstrual blood? I don't remember. Was it the snake? Child, I don't remember. But anyway, it stood out. So I'm going to research that tonight, figure out which one that was. The last thing I'm going to say is I did the Pure Lust book club last Wednesday and attempted to do the Pure Lust book club tonight. Last Wednesday, one person showed up. So we just wrapped, waiting for people to come on for like a long time. And then another person came on and we wrapped. But there was no discussion of the book club because nobody came. Well, 2 people came, but that we didn't do no Pure Lust book club, right? Tonight I initiated the book club because it's the last Wednesday of the month, or the fourth Wednesday of the month. Yes. And one person came on for like 5 minutes because I was like, after a while, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let it run, see if anybody come on, and I'm gonna end it and go ahead and do a live instead. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been thinking a lot about these lives that I do and the book club, and I've got 2 events. I'm doing some workshop next Saturday, and then I'm doing another workshop further on down in the month. That's going to be in person. That's going to be here in the city. And even, I began at the beginning of the spring doing the 5 elements. I promised you guys I was going to do the 5 elements workshop, right? Like teach you guys 5 elements theory. And while I like doing this, and while I enjoy, giving information, feel like I'm gonna have to pull back the reins a lot. Just looking at even today when I was trying to edit some content like shorts and cuts in video to post, I have produced a lot of content. I've produced an enormous amount of, I think my video count right now on my YouTube channel ain't but about 4 or 5 years old. I don't even think it's 5 years old. And in that period of time, I have produced 400 plus videos. And my teaching style is, I feel like, pretty thorough. You feel me? And so, yeah, I'm reevaluating this whole thing and how I disseminate information. And yeah, so y'all just get ready, because I think this shit about to change. I think this shit about to change, and it has to change in a way that is reciprocal. That's how it has to change. It has to change in a way that is reciprocal. That's just the bottom line. You know, I feel like I produce, and even the stuff that I want to produce, I got a list. This book right here is nothing. My Watching Between the Lines book. This is nothing but my research notes on movies that I eventually want to do movie reviews of. You know, people keep telling me, you know, you ain't got but a few movie reviews, but they so good. I'm like, I know they good, but that shit take a long time. That ain't no shit to just, you know, that shit take a long time. It's been a long time since I've done a movie review, hasn't it? I think what was the last one I did? It's been a while. It's been a while since I did a thorough movie review. That takes so much time. When I did that movie review for Suicide Squad, that was 3 2-hour videos, and I still didn't get all the information in. You feel me? That was quality programming right there. You feel me? That shit took a lot of study time. You feel me? A lot of study time. You understand? And that's all I'm saying is that what I'm putting out needs to be put out. And that's why the urgency, that's why it's so important to me, because it needs to be put out. I did 7 seminars in preparation for America's First Pluto Returns. Those I put out for free, but people paid for those. That was a 7-week workshop, and people paid for those. Y'all have those for free right here on YouTube. You feel me? And this information you are not finding anywhere else. And if you are, I dare you to tag me or email me the link so I too can be up on game. You feel me? But I guarantee you that you are not finding the content as presented the way that I do anywhere on this here internet. Okay? And I would even go as far as to say that if the exact same words and the exact same worldview and the exact same understanding through which I disseminate this information and understanding that I disseminate was coming from the mouth of one who possessed a penis, I would be way further ahead than I am right now. I would be much more situated differently than I am right now. And I hate to keep saying that, but it is the truth. And I'm just saying, this shit about the goddess, this shit about what it is that we need to do to ensure the resurrection of the goddess on earth is not some ambiguous, disembodied shit that I am talking about. It ain't. Thank you, Leger. Leger just became a subscriber and a member. Yay. This ain't no disembodied shit I'm talking about. And I tell y'all this all the time. I am not here. I am not doing this. I am not spinning my wheels the way that I am. I'm not for your entertainment. I am happy that you are entertained in the process, but that ain't what I'm here for. That ain't what I'm here for. And these are the questions we have to ask ourselves. Are we really about that life? Is this something that is going to be impactful in a way that it translates in the material world? This shit that I'm listening to, this shit that I'm watching that I think is so profound, and I can see the evidence of the mother come through all the time. Huh? Is this shit just nice to hear, make me feel good about myself? And if it do, that's cool. But is it going to be impactful in the real world, in the material world? Is it going to contribute in a real way to the reemergence of the one on earth? That's all I'm interested in. There are very clear benchmarks, if you will. There are clear identifiers to what that means. The reemergence of the one on earth in real time in the material world. In the material world. I'll be honest. This 4B movement shit is one. It's one of the evidences. This is a real world manifestation of the reemergence of the one. Don't nobody want to have that conversation. Y'all want to talk about bullshit with the 4B movement. Every single video I've seen so far is kindergartenish in its understanding of what is emerging. Now, that's the people on the ground that have this kindergartenish understanding of what's happening with the 4B movement. But I can guarantee you, those motherfuckers who possess penises, who are in positions of power over the women in South Korea, over the women anywhere on earth, they are crystal clear about what it is they're witnessing in South Korea. And they are scrambling like hell to get in front of it. But I'm telling you, y'all, I ain't gonna keep saying shit. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. You understand? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I ain't gonna be spinning my wheels. Let's see. Nikki, all of that. And I'm gonna go into those details. It'll probably maybe be tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday? It'll probably be tomorrow. If I can get enough research in tonight. It's already 10 o'clock my time. And I'm going dancing. Because I need to shake some of this motherfucking shit off. I need to shake some stress off. I'm going dancing when I get the fuck up off of here. Damn, I hadn't heard that one, Nikki. She say they offering female inmates or prisoners to get out of jail if they will have a baby. That's what I'm talking about. Because everything becomes the issue but the issue. That's what I'm going to talk about with this 4B movement. Because everybody been talking about everything except what the issue is. Everything becomes the issue but the issue. And the issue is these women, these quiet, faceless fucking women in South Korean culture who have been relatively moot on the social terrain. We don't know nothing about them. All of a sudden, they making waves that's hitting every shore on the planet. And this represents a problem. This represents a problem. And everybody talking about everything but what the thing is that need to be talked about when they talk about this 4B movement. Because this 4B movement is not some isolated incident, some random occurrence, of, quote, frustrated women and shit. Everything becomes the issue as a way to demote the significance of what is happening. But this ain't the first time it's happening. Same thing happened in Kenya about 20 years ago. Same thing happened in Brazil about 20 years ago. You understand? This thing happens and they got to get in front of it with media and shit to try to make sure that shit don't spill over in other places. That other women in oppressed communities and societies don't get the same idea. That's right, Balance, pulling straight jack moves. You feel me? This is evidence of the mother's reemergence. So do not get sidetracked with this dumbass shit. What about the babies? Y'all don't want to have no babies? Oh, we gonna become extinct. No, we will not. If every woman on earth decided today, no more babies, period. Until every single motherfucking demand we can conjure up in our imagination is met, baby. And even if we decided we ain't having no babies for 10 years, that we digging our heels in, bitch, we ain't having no babies for 10 years. I bet you in 5 years, every single demand that we could ever make would be met enthusiastically. You understand? And that is problematic for them, because what it means is that everything that we have been force-fed as the face of power is only a sorry-ass attempt at replicating true power, which we motherfuckers hold hegemony over. That is the essence And that's what they are fearful of. Everything else has been a sorry, flimsy ass replication of true power, which they do not have, they do not possess. You feel me? And so I'm saying all of this because I'm in a way. You feel me? I'm in a way. And the way that I am in, let me tell you a story really quick. I didn't think I was going to do no story time, but I'm going to tell you a story really quick because I've said this before and I've said it in a way that I feel like was not clear. That's what I feel. I feel like I've said it in a way that seemed more kind of like a general statement, but I am making it crystal clear on this night. Since the new year started, first of all, I think that I am a spectacular person. I think that. I like me. I like the me that I am. I like me. You feel me? I think there's a lot about me that I should like. I like me. And and I like other people. I like humans. I tell y'all that all the time. I like people. So I like people. You know what I'm saying? But I also know that I speak with a certain conviction and a certain authority that makes people uncomfortable. The conviction and the authority in and of itself is not what makes people uncomfortable. The conviction and the authority makes people uncomfortable because it comes from me. Because I'm Black, because I'm female, because I'm fat, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm quote counterculture or whatever, for me to speak with conviction and authority, because people ain't got a problem with conviction and authority. They ain't got no problem with Donald Trump speaking with conviction and authority. They ain't got no problem with the Tesla dude speaking with conviction and authority. They ain't got no problem with that. You feel me? But as soon as conviction and authority is partnered and emanates from the body of a big Black bitch, now everybody got a problem, and not just white people. I'm telling y'all this for a reason. Because I be so disappointed sometimes, and I try not to. I try not to let people surprise me. I try not to let people disappoint me. I done been through a lot of shit with a lot of different type of people. I done taken a lot of shit. And this ain't always been me. This conviction and authority coming out of me right now ain't always been me. But motherfucker, I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm at this point where it's what the fuck I say, exactly how the fuck I say it, on the terms that I set to say it. That's what it is. And you can be with it or you cannot be with it. But I used to be very mild-tempered in my articulation of my ideas, almost to the point that I suppressed my ideas for fear of critique, for fear of condemnation. I don't do that shit no more. But I still be sometimes surprised and disappointed when I find that even in spaces that I attempt to create, yes, I speak forcefully, but your starting point with me should always be point number one. If you do, I believe this woman loves humanity enough that she has taken it upon herself to heed a call, that she loves us, even fucked up versions of us. She loves us and wants to see the world made well. One. Two, I have never had any adverse interactions with this woman. Ain't never seen her cuss nobody the fuck out. You feel me? And you won't. I can cuss on here. It's my outlet. But to just be one-on-one with somebody and just like slay them verbally, that ain't what I'm about. I'm really about primarily trying to shift people's consciousness. Even that doesn't mean I go out of my way to let people mishandle me or no shit like that. I want you to know that, right? But if it is something after determining, is this a battle worth waging, or is there something that I can win from this interaction? Is this a battle worth waging, or is there something I can win from this interaction? Can I raise this person's consciousness up just a little bit? Can I shift their shit just a little bit? Or do I just rage at everybody who fucked up? We all fucked up, right? So these are the things that I ask myself. Two, if you have been watching my content any particular period of time, no one should be able to say, if they're honest with themselves, that I feel like this woman is up to no good. She's got sinister, what do you call it? Objectives or whatever. And if you can say that, if you can say, I believe this woman is genuinely motivated by love. I believe this woman is genuinely motivated by a realizable future that we can have. Why am I so desperate for that future? Why am I so convicted to that future? One, it's for personal reasons. I have a baby. My daughter has babies. Hopefully they too will want to have babies, but in a world where they can thrive and be abundant and feel happiness and peace and safety and sanity. That's why it wasn't, even before my first granddaughter was born, it wasn't a reach for spirit to come to me and say, okay, I believe you. I believe you really about what you say you about. That's what she said. I believe you. I believe you about that life. Here's the work. And if you believe that, then even if I say something that you don't agree with, I am hoping that I have created an environment, an atmosphere where you feel like you can tell me that, where you can trust me, to say, look, sis, that shit you was talking about the other day. And some women have, and I respect that and I appreciate it. Even some brothers have been like, I don't know, that shit you was talking about the other day, that shit kind of didn't hit right. I respect that. And I will receive it. And even if after respecting it and receiving it, I don't agree with it, I will explain why. But disagreement should not be the basis behind abandonment, behind ghosting or anything. And I'm not making an appeal. I want you to hear me. My disappointment is that we, those of us who are serious, we have to create what does not yet exist, an environment where even if we do not agree, we can trust each other. And the trust that we have is based on a sameness in our conviction, which is, I want to see the world made well. That's all I care about. That's it. That's all. When I tell you it's all I care about, don't nothing else top that for me. I want to see the world made well. I can see clearly the role that I can play in that. I also see that the role that I am playing in that I have the ability to play in that, can teach and show others how they too can play a role, and that their role be important and integral in creating this world in real time. But we have to start in the present somewhere. Trust has to be that place. And so in the last few months, there have been women I've never met face to face, but women, who've been following me and interacting with me, women that I feel like family, who have just disappeared. And even as I have reached out, do not respond. And I understand where that comes from. I do. I recognize that in the world, it's uncomfortable to disagree. It's uncomfortable to argue. I get it. You don't trust everybody, but baby, we have to start somewhere. And so there have been several women. One actually finally reached out, and what caused her to, quote, pull back, I told her, I said, not to make light of what you were saying, but I had hoped that something of this nature would be something that you would feel comfortable talking to me about. To say, look, I don't know, I didn't really resonate with that. It made me uncomfortable, and I don't really know why, but my spirit just told me I had to pull back. I don't know, but what was the reason I was even raising that? I don't know, but I tell you, I'm not at this point. Doesn't mean I'm rigid. Y'all know I'm not rigid, but at this point, I'm not willing to change my presentation. I'm not, because I've done that to make people comfortable. That ain't what we in here for. We are not in here to be comfortable. We are not in here to be comfortable. And I've said it several times over the last few weeks, but I mean to be very clear and very specific right now. This is not a period of comfort for us. There is nothing happening in the world that we should be comfortable with. Not when we have the answer, not when she has revealed herself to us. There is nothing happening on the planet right now today that we should be okay with, that we should be comfortable with. So if I can't have hard conversations with you, whoever you are, I'm saying, generally, and you can sever bonds over very minuscule things. Now, if I cuss you out, if I do you dirty, okay, then break ties. I would say still kick my ass, challenge me, and then let's see if we can work it out. If I ain't killed you, if I ain't beat your ass, if I ain't fucked you up, if I ain't robbed you at gunpoint, like can we figure out a way to resolve our conflicts in a way that grows both of us or everybody involved? You feel me? And so I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. All I can tell you is that I am open for your opinions. I am open. I'm okay. Baby, I told you, I'm not invested in capitalism. I'm not invested in the preservation of this shit. I'm not invested in the preservation of imperialism, white power, capitalism, none of the isms. I'm not invested in none of this shit. And so you can challenge me. My ego ain't in this shit. You can email me, you can call me, you can be like, sis, I don't know, that bullshit you was talking about the other day, that ain't it. And I'll be like, well, let's talk about it. What wasn't it about it? Let's be specific. I've had these conversations with people. So I'm not going to be your guru. I keep telling y'all that. That ain't what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be your guru. I'm not trying to be your quote master. None of that bullshit. None of that. I'm not going to ask you to move into a harem. I'm not going to ask you to move into a commune. I'm not going to ask you to wear the same color clothes as every the fuck body up. None of that shit. I'm not trying to be a cult leader. God damn it. I'm not trying to be a cult leader. I ain't trying. Listen, even somebody was like, when I was talking about what do I need to call myself, and somebody was like, mother, I was like, nope. I'm not trying to be your mother goddess. I'm not trying to be none of that shit. Not trying to be none of that shit. I'm trying to put y'all on in the same way that I was put on without all the time investment, all the hard lessons, all the gems that I've received. I'm trying to condense the time that you're able to get that. You ain't got to go through 30 years of that shit. You can get this shit condensed version, super potent right here. So we can flip this shit the fuck over already. That's all I'm interested in. I'll be honest. My little feelings was hurt by some of the interactions that happened, especially when they were, in my estimation, things that were resolvable with conversation, with an interaction. I'll be honest. I was disappointed. Feelings was a little hurt. I had to shake that shit off though, because I can't be invested in hurt feelings. Like, we have a world to create. There is no restoration, no reparation, no, none of that. We have a world that we are responsible for creating. And if we're about that life, and we can see the writing on the wall, even in this book we just read tonight, the mother has literally handed us everything that we need to change the world right the fuck now. And everything becomes the issue but the issue. Everything becomes some pseudo solution but the solution. That's what I'm trying to help you see. I'm not doing movie reviews for my health or because it's entertaining, because there's so much shit hidden in there that we can use to deconstruct ideas in our mind and in our consciousness, to unleash and free our fucking spirit, so we can have the confidence and the audacity and the courage to take this shit. I told y'all, there ain't nothing I've done on here in 4 or 5 years. There ain't nothing I've done in my whole goddamn adult life that has not had a direct relationship to the future that I see in my mind's eye. Not nothing. Not nothing. We can take this shit. We can take this shit. But we have to know what it is we're working for. We have to know what it is we want the future to be. And if our only frame of reference is what is, then we can't even think, we can't even visualize, we can't even envision anything outside of what we know. That ain't it. Because all we're going to do is end up creating chocolate covered versions of the same tired ass shit. Yellow colored versions or red colored versions of the same old bullshit. And ain't nobody interested in that. I don't want my grandkids to experience that. I don't want anybody on earth to experience that. You understand what I'm saying? I know it seems like I'm rambling, but I'm not. I'm not. All the things that I just said are related. If you cannot see and deeply internalize with the same reverence you have every fucking the thing else, if you cannot see in me, internalize in me, feel in me, hear in my voice, the voice of God herself, and behave and act accordingly, then you are not about this life. You are not about this work. If you can, if everything that I'm sitting here, if everything that I done said in the last motherfucking 4 years was said word for word, verbatim, by some brown man, some black man, some yellow man, some red man, some white man, that motherfucker already have a new following. Motherfuckers selling all they shit, leaving their people now, willing to do anything they said and accept every word out their mouth as holy writ. God is present in everything I say. That's just what it is. You can accept it or reject it. It's not just the intellectual rantings of somebody who read a lot of shit. It ain't. You feel me? But y'all, and I say y'all very vaguely. I'm not talking about you specifically. I love you all who are here listening, watching me rant. You understand? But I'm just telling you, I'm tired of hearing about men. I'm tired of hearing about the genius of men. I'm tired of hearing about Einstein. Tired of hearing about, what's that motherfucker name? Darwin. Tired of hearing about, what's his name? Tesla, the new one and the old one. I'm tired of hearing about men and their genius when their ability to even achieve genius came at some faceless, voiceless woman's expense. Every single solitary one. Everyone wouldn't be a singular male genius anywhere on earth if it wasn't for two primary women and probably a whole host of women in between. That's the woman that gave birth to him, who we never know, and the woman that he ended up marrying, who we never know, but sacrificed everything to, quote, nurture his genius, and all the women in between that he done probably sucked the fucking essence out of to accomplish said genius. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But you can't accept permanently transformative genius emanating from the body of women in general and Black women most in particular. So I'm going to have to revamp my whole setup. That's what I'm getting to. That's what I started with. Because some of y'all think I'm just up here to entertain. That's what y'all think. I'm about to have to revamp my whole shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that looks like yet. Well, I'm granting in the energy of this goddamn, what is it? The Scorpio full moon, you feel me? In the month of absolute. Let's see. I'm glad you're getting this off your chest. I understand how disappointing these type submissions can be, but you were definitely built for this. I appreciate you, sis. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But yeah, we're gonna have to do something different. I'm going to have to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like I made a joke the other night with the one sister who came on for the longest time for the book club last week. I was like, I get it. I don't know why I keep trying to swim upstream. I don't know why I keep trying to swim upstream. I know what I need to do. What I need to do is I need to what you call it? Bring in a man. I need to bring a man in to the temple. Charismatic, you know what I'm saying? Good looking, you feel me? Well dressed, well versed. I need to bring in a man. And I need this man to be a parrot. Because y'all can't hear it coming from me. Y'all can't hear it coming from me. Y'all can't hear this. Y'all can't hear it coming from me. So I'm going to need a man to become a parrot. And watch this shit explode. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give him a script. Let him say all the things. Let him do all the things. Say all the things. Give him a script. And watch his flock grow to gargantuan proportion. And then spring it on y'all. You feel me? Like, oh, you fell for the okie doke. It was me the whole time. But I need a puppet because y'all can't hear me. Y'all can't hear me. As soon as you realize bitch got a vagina and some titties, maybe squeezed a few babies out of there, everything she says becomes null and void. Child. You want to ensure the return of the mother. The starting point is to worship your mama. The starting point is to learn the name of every mama, of every so-called self-proclaimed genius. Where he get his genius from, who his mama was. That's what I want. That's y'all homework. Start looking for all the mamas of the self-proclaimed geniuses that ever lived and find out who their motherfucking mama was and give their mamas the goddamn props they deserve. Because a man's ability to even realize his own genius came at his mother's expense. Find out what's Albert Einstein's mama name. What kind of bullshit did she have to endure being married to his punk ass pappy to give birth to him? What was Darwin's mama name? You feel me? Any of them. Shoot. What was Marcus Garvey's mama name? What was the quote Honorable Elijah Muhammad's mama name? What was Malcolm X's mama name? What was Martin Luther King's mama name? Give them the props. Give them the praise. Give them the credit. God damn it. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done ranting. I'm not mad. I know it sounds like I am. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. You know, I'm not mad. I was just revisiting Pure Lust over the last few days in preparation for tonight's book club that did not happen. And baby, let me tell you, I read these books. They're great. When I go back and listen to myself read these books, I hear something totally different. I was in this joint screaming the last few days because it was I think it was chapter 16 that I was reading from Pure Lust. Baby, y'all think I got an attitude. Mary Daly had an attitude. Y'all, Mary Daly had an attitude. She's like, bitch, can we set this shit off already? This was in 1983. Can we be done with this already? Can we set this shit off already? Or is it going to take another 40, another 60, another 100 years of us lamenting about the same dumbass shit? Can we set this shit off already? Mary Daly had an attitude, a well-deserved attitude. She did. She had a well-deserved attitude. You understand? Barbara Moore had a well-deserved attitude. The author of The Great Cosmic Mother. Do you know that in the last 2 weeks, I don't know, but in the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 different people message me about my reading of The Great Cosmic Mother. And all 3 of them were asking, how can I find this book in my language? All of them. German. One was German, one was Spanish, and one was Dutch, maybe. 3 people in 2 weeks. I was like, oh my God, this book is so great. I love listening to you read it, but I wish it was in English. I mean, in German and in Spanish and in Dutch. And then y'all know Kuba last year read it in Polish, who was on our book club. But all he did was like use Google Translator to read the book in Polish, right? But people are getting hip to the game. How are we as Black women, in particular in the United States of America, going to center ourselves in this thing that is emerging? Because the mother is like, look, y'all motherfuckers is taking too long. Y'all moving too slow. I done gave y'all all the goods. Like, what the fuck is taking y'all so long? You know what? Let me just go over here to Germany. Maybe somebody will get hip to the shit over here in Germany and set this shit off already. Oh, no, not Germany? Okay, cool. Let's try over here in Poland and shit. Let's see if somebody will gravitate. Okay, no, not you either. Okay, let's find out if New Zealand got the smoke that can set this shit off already. This is how she's moving. How do we position ourselves ahead of this thing that is happening with or without us? That is happening with or without us. I keep telling y'all about a little girl last year who from Korea. She was the first one to tell me about the 4B movement. I didn't know nothing about it until I got a comment on one of my damn lives, one of my damn readings from this little Korean woman saying, we watching y'all. Black women in America, we watching y'all. How do we position ourselves up front of this movement that is happening with or without us? This is what I'm hoping I'm articulating here. That's what I hope I'm articulating here. But it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen on no bullshit. Child. We done prop motherfucking men up in positions of power who don't know a 16th of what the average Black woman know. You hear me? To believe and concede that the mother is on the move, fighting like hell to restake her claim on that which she is responsible for creating, requires us to prop up her fucking daughters, to pour into, to surround, to promote, to lift up her daughters. And if you ain't talking about doing that, you ain't talking about shit. That's it. If you are not talking about doing that, you ain't talking about shit. And I don't give a fuck who you are. White, black, brown, red, yellow, male, female, and all the genders in between. Elders to youth, to babes. If you are not talking about supporting, upholding, pouring into, uplifting, supporting her daughters, you ain't interested in changing the world. You are not. I don't give a fuck what you're into. Don't care. If it does not center the assault necessary on the mother, which is her daughters. I'll say something controversial because it's been on me. You understand? Every place on earth has created for themselves a permanent IV attached to Africa, the mother, Africa, the beginning, Africa, the origin, Africa. Every place on earth has attached it to itself an IV bag that bleeds from her consistently and unendingly for upwards of 2,000 years. Everything on earth that we witness as a crime against others has a direct tie and connection to Africa. Everything. You want to end what's happening in Palestine? Y'all gonna hate to hear this. You want to end what's happening in Palestine? Cut fucking Israel off of its goddamn supply from Africa, from South Africa, from Sierra Leone, from Namibia, from Congo, from all the places it's got its filthy fucking rotten ass hands. Cut that motherfucker off from Africa. Y'all don't want to talk about that. You want to end the aggression against women in China, Japan, and South Korea? Cut them motherfuckers off from their goddamn lifeline in Africa, which they all have. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all want to pull at straws that are convenient for you to forget the fact that what Karl Marx called the original sin of capitalism remains. What did he say the original sin was? The war on Africa and the hunt for black skins and the simultaneous genocide of the indigenous people in the Western Hemisphere. That's what he said. That's what the white boy said. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about, even now, the conditions that indigenous people in the Western Hemisphere and everywhere else for that matter have to endure for this bitch to remain. Motherfuckers in goddamn the United States of America, in California, the 5th largest economy on earth, California. I didn't say in America. The 5th largest economy on earth, California. Motherfuckers in this goddamn state living in caves. I ain't lying. Living in caves. Living in caves, y'all. I ain't lying. You think I'm lying? I could drive right now an hour and a half from my house and show you the lights in the cave systems. Just an hour and a half from here. Motherfuckers living in goddamn caves. Leave the caves during the day to go to work and shit in somebody's field for pennies on the motherfucking dollar and bring jugs of water and shit back to the cave to live. Motherfuckers living in caves and shit. Y'all don't want to talk about that. I keep telling y'all, everything on earth is intrinsically linked. Everything. And so when things become faddish, I hate to say it, yes, there is a genocide happening in Palestine. When has there not been? Yes, I was just looking on my feed from 12 years ago, a Free Palestine campaign that we participated in from another aggression that Israel had launched on Palestine. That came through my feed just this week from 12 years ago. And it's only then during that aggression in Palestine 12 years ago, wasn't nobody talking about, well, what about Sudan? And what about the genocide in Congo? And it's only at the juncture that black people start kicking y'all fucking ass that now everybody's saying, well, we can't forget Congo and Sudan and none. When have these genocides not been happening? Motherfucking Leopold was responsible for the massacre of 10 million people in Congo. Not 100 years ago, not 200 years ago, in the 19 motherfucking 50s. 10 million Africans. You understand? Africa don't need to be nobody motherfucking afterthought when you get your ass handed to you. Africa's suffering is intrinsically linked to everything that we call criminal on earth. You better believe it. Better believe it. Better believe it. Name a country, name the aggression, and I will tell you how Africa's suffering is linked to it. I'll tell you. That's what I do. I study. I learn. I understand that history is not a sequence of parallel fucking disconnected lines. It is a web that we are all linked into. God damn it. So this shit, yo. This shit. And the only way to solve every ail that exists on earth is the dismantling of that which is for and the simultaneous reemergence of the great black primordial she on earth. That's all. 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 And everybody's healing is linked to that, just like everybody's suffering is linked to now. Everybody's suffering is linked to now. Everybody's healing is linked to her. It ain't rocket science. You understand? And I don't know what the fuck else to tell you. You feel me? I'm going to do what she has called on me to do. I'm going to do what she has put on my spirit to do. But I'm not going to be disappointed by y'all no more. That's what I'm not going to allow myself to do. I am not going to allow myself to be disappointed because we can't do the bare fucking minimum, which is to establish some modicum level of trust among and between one another so that we can do this work. I ain't cussed now one of y'all out. I ain't said now one of y'all is stupid. I ain't did nothing like that. For women, man, to be like, you said some shit that I'm really uncomfortable with, and my spirit told me that I just need to pull away. Really? Have I done anything that would make your spirit any more uncomfortable than your motherfucking rent man? Than the motherfucker who makes sure the gas get into your car? Than the motherfuckers who run the city you live in and can't figure out where they can find some money to get people off the street, but can keep pouring money into the motherfucking police station? Is something that I said making you more uncomfortable than that? Is something that I have said making you more uncomfortable than these outright full 5 raging goddamn aggressions happening in the form of genocide on earth right now? Is anything that I'm saying making you more uncomfortable than that? Child, I can't do it. I'm grown and y'all grown. I'm grown and y'all grown. I'm not coddling anybody's emotions or feelings. I'm not like a pessimist. This woman said she felt like I was fear-mongering. I'll tell you. She said, I felt like you were fear-mongering. What? When? Where? Huh? Wait, what? How I did that? Let me go back and find out where I was fear-mongering. Because I feel like I'm more optimistic than most motherfuckers. I feel like we can take this shit. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like I'm the ultimate optimist. And I'm fear-mongering because I'm talking about the coming aggressions against women. Honey, there wasn't no crystal ball shit statement I was making. I wasn't reading no crystal ball when I talked about the impending and the increase in the aggressions against women, similar to that of the days leading up to the witch trials. That is not no crystal ball shit at all. That is me, the historian. That is me, the scientist. That is me, the political scientist. That ain't me on some witchy shit like, ooh, I can see in the future that the men are going to increase the aggressions against women. Well, you don't need a crystal ball for that. They just overturned Roe versus Wade 2 years ago. A year ago? 2 years ago? They just imprisoned the sister took her to jail in New York for having a miscarriage at her house and saying she was trying to give herself an abortion. They put her in jail for that. They just went to a little girl shop in Philadelphia on a law that was over 100 years old, talking about if we catch you reading people's tarot cards, we gonna come and arrest you based on this ordinance, such and such, and this and that. I don't have to have a crystal ball. All I have to do is see echoes in time, baby. History allows me to do that. History allows me to see what was happening in a society at the point or on the precipice of this phenomenon that exposed itself, whether it's the witch trials or whatever it is. All we're doing is repeating echoes, creating echoes in time. If we don't do anything different, we create echoes. If we do not see in the past what gave rise to a phenomenon, we're doomed to repeat it, because we can see repetitions historically that serve to teach us how to get in front of this thing that may go the other way. That's not fear mongering. That's empowering. I'm trying to tell you, these are the echoes. This is how we can get in front of it. This is how we can ensure that what we're experiencing in real time, the increasing aggressions against women, cannot continue. This is it's the learning, it's the recognition of patterns that we have to be keen to in order to guarantee and ensure that the future is something different than what the echoes of the past created. That's all I'm talking about. When I talk to you guys about the 2,739 motherfucking dystopian movies that have been made to teach us over and over and over and over again to fear the future, to see the future as something terrible and desert and barren, I'm telling you that not to demoralize you. I'm telling you so that we now have the information that tells us that there's something different that we need to create if we want to change the narrative and people's behavior in response to the narrative. That's not fear mongering. That's saying in order to create something new, people have to be able to see it in their mind's eye. They have to be able to imagine it in order to create it. That becomes our work. And I'm not fearful. I'm not fearful. So I can't be fear mongering. I'm not fearful. I am confident, audaciously so, that we can take this shit now that we can see. You understand? So it's unfortunate, but I'm not going to coddle y'all. I'm not. That's not what I'm here for. It's unfortunate that people feel like that is the only response. That's okay. I'm not going to let that shit undo me. I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to talk softer. I'm not going to talk sweeter. I'm not going to fucking clean up my delivery. I speak crystal clear. Whether you have a PhD or third grade education, everything that I say, you understand it clearly. What you do with it and how you take it in is between you and your God. But I am not and will not ever diminish, demote, reduce the power and the force of her message and me as her conduit. I ain't doing it. You won't have me out here betraying my motherfucking destiny. You ain't gonna have me do it. You will not have me out here betray my fucking destiny. My mother says, nah, other days are days for the scales of justice. Today is the day for the labors, bitch. Today is the day for the axe. Today is the day for, some days you can use the scales. Today is the day for the axe. Today is the day for the labors. So I'm not cleaning shit up. I'm not softening anything. I'm not cowtailing and coddling grown ups. If you find that I am somehow more offensive than oppression, then fine, maybe this ain't the space for you. If you find that I am somehow more offensive than crimes against human beings and suffering of people, then this ain't the place for you. If you find that something that I say out of love, every single word out of love, even if it's harsh, every word is out of love. Every word. Yep, even those harsh ones. Yep, even those when I talk about men. Yes, they're still said out of love. Because these are the things that we must traverse in order to create the new. We can't create something new with all y'all still fucked up in the game. Fucked up in the head, fucked up in your relationship. We can't create the new with old, decadent, dead ass shit. We can't do it. So if anything that I say out of love distresses you so that you feel like you need protection from me in the world that we live in, child, this ain't the space for you. It wasn't for you. And that's okay. No shade, no harm, no foul. It ain't for you. It ain't for you. It ain't for you. So I'm not going to let y'all disappoint me. I'm not going to let y'all hurt my motherfucking feelings. I love human beings. You know what I'm saying? I love people that I can call extended family. You feel me? But if we cannot trust each other enough to just walk through our disagreements and say, okay, well, this is some things that we can't agree on, but I can still love you and I can still show up for you. And it doesn't diminish my trust in you. It doesn't diminish my faith in you. Now let's move on. What are the things that we still hold on to as the foundational structure, our points of unity? What is the foundational structure that we can all concede that this is going to be the best way forward, even if there are variances in the things that we agree on? These foundational points of unity are where we get down. This is where we get down. And let's go ahead, push on. Is the disagreement that we have worth this vision that we share? Is the disagreement that we have worth sacrificing the future that we are charged to create? Is this disagreement that we have worth sacrificing our offspring's future? You feel like I'm fear-mongering? Okay, I don't feel like I'm fear-mongering. Is this something that you think I'm fear-mongering? I don't think I'm fear-mongering. Is this something that we can't move past to create a new world? Is this disagreement that we may have worth sabotaging the fucking future? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. Because I ain't cleaning up shit. Y'all know me. Y'all know too much about me. You understand what I'm saying? This is what you get. This is what you get. And know that it's still based in love. I give a damn about your life. Every last one of you, those I've met and those I have not. I give a damn about your life. I give a damn about your life. You understand? And so, I'll be honest, my delivery is such that these women ain't the first. There have been several people who be like, I can't fuck with Yapo. I can't fuck with Cassandra. That's okay. That's okay. I love you from afar, child. I love you from afar. But no disagreement that I've had thus far has been worth our people's future. No disagreement that I have had with anybody thus far has been enough to have me say, fuck you, I ain't fucking with you, and somehow this is going to set us back. Because even as our opposition don't like each other, Democrats and Republicans don't like each other. Catholics and Protestants don't like each other. Catholics and Muslims don't like each other. Jews and Muslims don't like each other. When it comes to maintaining power over the rest of us, they are all enthusiastically in bed with one another to maintain our oppression. Believe it. All those institutions I just named are all enthusiastically in bed with one another. And I guarantee you they are not bickering over, well, you're fear-mongering. Well, you're a Trump supporter. I guarantee you they are not bickering about those disagreements that would sabotage what it is they're trying to maintain. Here we is with this dumb shit. Can't get shit done because we disagree on every single solitary thing while we fucked up in the game. You won't have me involved, invested. If you got a better way, tell me. I might get on board with what it is you're talking about. If you know more than I do, I'm not above learning from someone else. Being somebody else's mentee. I'm not above it. Not above it. Can we just set this shit off already? If you got a better way, you got a better vision, you got a better way of articulating these things, I'm willing to be the student. Because I told you I ain't got no stakes in this shit. I want to see it completely dismantled, incinerated, buried deep in the earth, never to emerge again. I mean that. So let's go. If you got something better, you got a better way, better articulation, better vision, I'm willing to support that. I'm willing to support somebody else's shit. If it don't center the mother, though, I ain't about it. If it don't center the mother and her ambitions, I ain't with it. I'm not with it. That's all I got to say about that. I'm done. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow when I finish reading The Great Black Mama of Creation by SuZar. And based on some of the recommendation, I'm about to buy everything they ever wrote. About to buy everything they ever wrote. This is the one we're reading right now. We'll probably finish it tomorrow. And then, like I said, next week, y'all going to be surprised because I'm about to revamp my whole shit. I'm about to revamp my whole shit. Like, share, subscribe. You understand? Take little clippets, post that shit on TikTok. You feel me? Become a member. You feel me? Thank you, Leger, for joining, becoming a member tonight. You feel me? Send them super thanks and super chats and all of that shit. Everything you are saying resonates. I'm struggling because I don't know how to apply the knowledge. ADD and anxiety is squeezing me. However, my daughter is resilient to push through. Louise, thank you for coming on. Yes, LYM chick. I see you. Yes, voiceovers by Stephanie Marie. Everybody who came into the room this evening over here. Everybody on IG. Let's see, what is that? Ergo Industrial Complex. Bookish Mystic. Southern French Astrology. Empress Tress. Miss Villamil, Empress Honey Bee or Bay, and Chicana Bats. Thank you all for tuning in. And I will see you tomorrow for the completed read of the book that we into. And then probably tomorrow, maybe the afternoon, I'm going to do this thing on the 4B movement. I'm going to do this thing on this 4B movement. Y'all ain't ready, though, because my angle is different. It's way different. Okay? I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.